Hey, Bruce here with California Gold Connection. We're going to do a market update on gold and silver and why the crazy dump that happened today happened, and why it's a good thing. We needed this to happen. I know that's counterintuitive, but I'm going to explain to you why. First, I'm going to explain to you what's been going on in this silver market as a dealer, or gold and the precious metals market as a dealer. Is those of you that have been holding silver and trying to buy particularly, and you're calling around, you're getting dealers that are saying we're not buying, or we're only buying some things, or if we are buying, we're buying way back a spot, and that varies drastically depending on who you're calling and what's going on in their particular shop or buying location, right? What is happening? Well, so supply and demand, right? The more supply, the more the glut, the more it bottlenecks the systems, particularly in our nation. The refiners, there's only so much refining capacity, and all this silver has been sold, it's get a bottleneck the system. Okay, so everything's getting backed up, so much so that as a dealer, my buyers sent me an email here a week ago saying we're timing out on buying any scrap silver, 90% silver. We're not buying any of that. We'll buy other silver products. However, we're going to wait 4 to 6 weeks for your money. Okay, that's not very good, but because normally I can sell the same day and I get a wire immediately, right? But normally when you sell, if you mail my stuff into my refiner, or if I sell in person, I can call that day and I get a lock on the price. Whatever the price is, I can lock that in. Well, they're saying 4 to 6 weeks for payment, and we're not locking prices. So whatever the market is in 6 weeks, that's what we'll pay you at. How do you run a business like that? I had a couple in here yesterday, and I explained to them the volatility of the silver market, and I felt this correction coming. I told them tomorrow morning I can wake up and there could be a $60 drop in silver. Well, I was wrong. It was $40 today, right? So I felt it coming. I knew it was going to happen. I've been looking for this for quite some time. Last few weeks, I could feel it coming. As things got volatile, and I'll explain that to a little bit more in the charts, I could just feel it coming. So anyway, as a dealer, we're doing everything we can to stay in business, be smart about what we're buying. And so I'm here for you tomorrow. Not just when silver's high, yeah, that's fun, but I need to be here for you tomorrow as well. And most of your dealers around the nation, they're all going through this. This move today is going to put dealers out of business. Some dealers were trying to pay, I don't know why they didn't pay attention the first time this happened a few months ago when they shut down the market, but they were trying to pay really high, and I say high, not as far back a spot as many, and I appreciate them trying to take care of their clients that way. However, when you get a move like this, not only does it take your profit out of hundreds of thousands of dollars you've bought in the last couple of days worth of stuff, it takes the profit out of that, but it may wipe out profit on all the products you bought over the last months, for crying out loud. So you could have just taken your whole business for the year, and well, we're only in the first week of the month or month of the year, but the last 6 months you could have just wiped out your profit margin. That's not how to run a business. So you got to be really smart about this. So anyway, that's been the difficulty for your dealers out there, and this is what we've been trying to navigate. But this is a healthy move. Let's get into it. Let me show you why. Here's the gold chart. What you can see is we've got this big drop today. We had a $500-600 drop today. And you can see that. Let me go to this other chart. I made another chart for you to make this easy. This is my levels of support and resistance I watch. You guys know this. But I made this chart for you here to get a nice, good visual for you on to maybe understand this a little better and why we're seeing what we're seeing. This is back in October. We've been in this ascending channel, all right? And just like in charting, like I tell you guys all the time, when patterns form, there's expected moves out of them, and the expected moves are kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy, largely, right? No guarantees, otherwise we'd all be zillionaires. But here you can see the measured move out of this ascending channel was the top of this bar here. That is $5,145, okay, for gold. Well, we also had this $5,000 level, which is a psychological level that everybody's been talking about for years. And it's like, boy, we're finally hitting it. You would expect some big sell orders there. When you hit a new expected all-time high, normally you'll have a lot of sell orders there. However, we had two things going on here. We had that psychological move, but we also have this bar, the projected move out of here, substantially higher. So what do we get? 1 day of indecisive move here. This is a doji candle. That's an indecisive move. The market could have went up or down. Well, you see what happened. It blasted off. This is where I already expected a correction, but this is where I went. Correction is very close, because we're just going up too hot and too fast after a psychological $5,000 level and the top of this measured move. our corrections imminent was what was my gut was telling me. All right. And the Lord's the CEO of my business, so He's really where I pull my knowledge from, and I'm blessed to be able to see these things when I do, and that's how I operate my business. Well, anyway, you can see we had a big drop today, and what's nice about this, and what's healthy about this, is everybody that doesn't chart and doesn't know what they're looking at is going, "Where is this going to stop? Is this the end? Is the bubble? We're going to crash forever?" I'm going to say, in my opinion, this isn't financial advice, but no, we had a perfect, healthy retracement, and that went right down to the top of the breakout level. That's where you want to see a retracement, is to retest the current breakout level, and we did just that. We did perfectly right there. Okay, and then you can see, as soon as it hit there, you can see we started to recover a little bit, and we're regaining. And this is Fridays. Normally sell-offs happen on Fridays. After this run up, I just felt everything culminating today, Friday, that we were going to get a move. I had people sitting in my office yesterday, and a couple, and I told them tomorrow morning, on the silver particularly, because they had silver, I said, I can wake up tomorrow and we can have a $60 drop in silver. Right now, it's imminent, and you just don't know when it's going to happen. Well, I was wrong. Today it was $40 drop. All right, so it's pretty crazy. But anyway, what's healthy about this is after a breakout, normally when you see a breakout of a pattern like this, you'll come up and get close. This is a projected move. Normally you'll see sell-offs right below that because everybody is expecting the measured move. So they sell off right before, especially on Fridays, take profits. That's normal. We barely slowed down. We blew right through it. And but after you get a sell-off like that, and when you hit a measured move, you'll normally, to confirm this new breakout, you want to see a retest of the breakout level. We've gotten that. What you want to see next is normally you'll have a close. You want to see a close above the previous high. We got a ways to get a close above here to confirm this breakout, but we've got a healthy test of this breakout level. And what I would like to see is some consolidation. What does that mean? It's sideways trading, and then maybe a slow march up. Okay, that's what we would like to see. That's a healthy move up. That's a healthy market. That's what we'd like to see. And then ultimately a close above this, and then we're off to the races and with new highs. Okay, that's what I want to see. What could happen Monday with gold and silver? Everybody thinking, "Wow, I missed the run. Here's my chance to jump in and buy the dip." We can have a monster green candle Monday morning. That's not my preference. That's not healthy. I want to see a more consolidated, slowly gradual up move. That's healthy, and that would equalize the system. Speaking of that, let's go back to silver. You can see silver, or go to silver. That was a daily candles. I'm going 12-hour candles on these just to give you a little bit better visual of this W pattern. And we had our breakout level was right there at the top of that bar. That's $95 and change. You can see once we hit that, we just went hit. We just sat there for a few days. Went down a little bit. We didn't go down and retest the breakout level, but we just started blasting up again. And then we've done what we've done here today, and that all-time high, I can now move up to an intraday all-time high way up there. But anyway, you can see I could just feel this happening. But what we did get is, here's our breakout level down here. What I'd like to see is I would expect a bigger retracement in silver, but as fast as it's moved, we didn't really see a bigger retracement yet. My gut's telling me I think we're going to find this level, and why I'm showing you that is here also you can see this orange line is a 100-day moving average. This is the 50-day moving average. I knew we'd blow through that if we jumped, and we would be looking for this support. We blew right, and we wicked right back down. What's that doing? That wick comes down and shakes out all the weak hands. It buys up any shorts that are going on, or wicks out any shorts that are going on, and buys them up and shakes out the market. This is a healthy thing to equalize the market. And now we find ourselves right back up here at the breakout level, and it looks like we may hold that. If we continue to hold this, again, like gold, I would like to see us do some consolidating and slowly march back up and move up and retest this all-time high. Again, Monday we can get a monster green candle and off to the races again. But what's nice about this move, it's $85. It was just 118 for crying out loud. Look, we hit 121, it looks like. Is everybody that thought they missed this massive move has an opportunity to come in and buy the dip, which means all the glut of supply we have on the market can now be absorbed and hopefully give us an equilibrium, find us a good, healthy place to be again, is what would be my preference. And so we can operate normally. It's very hard to operate in a market this volatile as a dealer and keep your doors open and have capital to operate with and not get a bunch of capital locked up in silver that you can't move right now. Or if you can, it's a very slow move. That hurts you and it hurts the dealer. So anyway, a slow move up will be the preference. We're going to do a quick look at palladium for you guys in my dental industry, and we're sitting exactly where the same things happen in the platinum group metals. Is we had this triangle pattern or this diamond pattern, and the measured move out of that diamond pattern was all the way up here. Again, we had two levels of confluence. When you have two levels of confluence, this yellow line's previous support and resistance levels. I'm not going to go back there and look at it. It's not necessary. But what you can see is they sold just short of that. Why? Because they know those levels are happening, and they want to take the profits before they dump and try to catch a falling knife. So they have sell orders right here. We've done that. Now we've dumped out of this just like everything's done today. But look what we did. We wicked down here just past the 50-day moving average, and we've caught back up, and now we are retesting and sitting right at this breakout level. Exactly what you'd want to hope to see is support at that level. And so everything in my gut, and I'm not giving you financial advice, and I'm not telling you, I'm not telling you when and where and what to do with your monies. But everything in my gut is telling me that these levels of support are holding and gonna hold. Now we may see some Monday. We may see move back down on here. We're back on gold now. We may retest this level again as we're going up. If we break that, my next level I'm watching is the bottom of this channel. I just am not feeling that. I'm hoping we're gonna maintain all three of those levels that we just looked at, and we'll keep seeing a march forward. All right. A lot of you guys have been emailing me and texting me, and I normally send these videos out individually. This is on my website and via my YouTube page, which I don't think I have any following on. I don't even do anything with my YouTube page, so there's not a lot of activity there. But these are on my website when I do market updates like this, for those of you that aren't, that are watching this. But anyway, I hope that market update helps you get a bit of a better picture of what's going on. This is a healthy thing. This is what we needed to happen. I'm hoping this kind of cools the market off a little bit and gives us a more steady move up, and something we can all manage around better, particularly us in business doing this. All right. You guys have a blessed day. We'll see you on the next video. Until then, keep on stacking your gold and silver, and we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.